Yeah, hi there, and these comments are for one of my students in the English language program here at California State University, San Bernardino. I am reading your essay right now. So you completed a writing practice test a few days ago, and I'm going to do a video correction of what you wrote. So let's take a look at your first paragraph. The author in the reading passage explains the benefits of blogs for those who don't have experience in writing, but it doesn't benefit the writer or the reader because it has lack of professionalism, integrity, and in-depth discourse. This is not accurate. Be careful. The purpose of a summary is to explain the most important points, in this case, in the introduction of the reading and the listening passage. You said the reading passage explains the benefits of blogs. That's false. It criticizes blogs and blog writers. It doesn't talk about the benefits, so the opposite of what you have said is actually true. The second problem with your introduction, you're not stating what the main point of the listening passage is. The listening passage disagrees with each of those points in the reading passage. So with the introduction that you wrote, let's take a look. I'm going to give you an example of how you can do it. So this is going to work better here. The reading passage argues that bloggers lack professionalism, integrity, and in-depth discourse. However, the speaker disagrees with each of these assertions. So this introduction, it states more accurately the purpose of the reading passage, and it includes how the lecturer disagrees with these ideas. Okay, let's take a look at your next paragraph. You say, not like the journalists and authors who have great experience and professionalism before they go to school and work hard to be able to find a publisher. It's easier for bloggers because they do not have to go through all of that, and all they need is just a computer and internet. Bloggers can simply create a website and start to write and become a professional. But this helps not qualified writers to become famous and decline the art of writing according to the reading passage. Right? So you're going in the right direction, but you need to have that voice marker in the beginning, right? So a lot of your ideas are good here, but it'll probably look something like this. So I'll show you what I did. And what I'm doing is the topic sentence of this second paragraph needs to include the main point of the reading, at least reading point number 1, right? And then you can show how the lecturer disagrees with that information. Okay, so the example paragraph I'm going to show you, it more clearly mentions the writing in the beginning. Remember that what you do in the very beginning of the paragraph is important because it gives the paragraph a purpose. So what I've done here, so you can see it, is I'm highlighting in blue the information from the reading passage. And then in red, I'm highlighting the information from the lecture. And notice, I try to keep it about half and half. I spend about half of my paragraph talking about reading point number 1. I spend half of my paragraph talking about listening point number 1. Why am I doing that? If you spend too much time on one source and not the other, it can kind of show you have a bias toward the one source and not the other. Okay, here we go. The writer argues that blogs lack professionalism because in their blogs, different from magazines or journals whose authors are qualified by the society, anyone can write down an essay. Unlike journalists or writers, bloggers do not have to attend college, nor do they need to complete internships before they're qualified to begin writing. However, the speaker argues that bloggers are growing in popularity and have formed markets with their specializations. Since blogs have already become businesses, adds the speaker, these bloggers who write their essays through the internet market are beginning to qualify themselves as published writers. And then you just do what you did before. In the next paragraph, you're talking about the integrity thing and then the in-depth discourse idea, right? That's kind of what you're doing there. There's 2 questions now at the end of this video. What is your score? And then what can you do, if anything, to improve your writing, right? These are the 2 things. So 5 would be you have successfully selected the most important information from the lecture and have in a well-organized manner presenting the information. No. So I think I'm going to put you in the 2 area. I was thinking about the 1 area. The thing that really bugs me is introduction, where you misrepresented the purpose of the reading passage. Part of it was you're having some problems in the sentence explaining the idea, but what you said was not actually accurate. That's one of the fastest ways to get a lower score in this kind of writing, is to simply misrepresent the information in the passage, which you definitely don't want to do, right? I'm going to put you right now at about 2.0 out of 5, 14 points out of 30. If this were the midterm exam, right? If this were the midterm exam, let's take a look here, 2 points. This is going to put you at 70%. Now, the question is, though, you scored really high on that placement test. Obviously, you have good English skills. The question is, why are you not getting this in the writing, right? So writing is a weak point for you. Now, you can do 2 things here. A, you can ignore it and pretend like it doesn't exist. Or B, you can do something about these problems and strengthen this weakness, right? Let me tell you a quick story. A long time ago, when I ran high school cross country and college cross country, I did not like running up hills. Hills are hard, especially in a race, right? It wasn't my favorite thing. So in practice, because it wasn't my favorite thing, it was my weakness, I practiced hills almost every week for several months. I practiced running up hills, I practiced running down hills over and over and over. And guess what? It became a strength. And pretty soon in races, I could pass a lot of people running uphill because I became a strong hill runner. Now, what am I saying to you? I'm saying that writing is your weakness. However, if you practice it more and you write more, and remember, my website has 40 independent writing practice tests. You can do a writing practice test any day of the week. I'll give you a score. I won't do the video corrections like I'm doing now, but I will definitely give you a score. You can also do integrated writing practice. I have 43 integrated writing practice tests. The more you practice, the better your writing is going to get. That's my challenge to you. Don't hide it. Don't ignore, but face this difficulty. You have very good speaking skills. You have excellent overall English proficiency. You just need to strengthen the writing with a little practice, and I'm very sure you can do it. All right? So hang in there. Okay, now the next question is, at my website, what are some things that you can do that will improve your writing? So I'm going to go to the grammar part of my course first. I'm going to take a look at a few things here. I think lesson 25, be careful of fragments, run-ons, and comma splices. I think that's a good one, something you can work on right now. Okay, how about sentence variety? Lesson number 26. I think that'll be a good lesson for you. And then lesson 26.2, sentence variety practice exercises. I would encourage you to review all punctuation. You have some trouble with that. So I would take a look at lesson 28, lesson 29. These will give you practice with using or not using commas, semicolons, dashes, periods, question marks, exclamation points, all of that stuff. Now the next area, let's go to the writing part of my course. Let's see if there's anything here you can work on. Yeah, I want you to get more comfortable with the integrated writing task, right? So understanding how to structure it. So lesson 9, answering the integrated writing task. I think that's good. Also, lesson 9.1, a case study of 3 introductions. Lesson 9.6, getting the main idea of TOEFL passages, integrated speaking and writing templates. Focus on the integrated writing templates in this lesson. Score higher than 28 out of 30 in the integrated writing by following 5 steps. Lesson 10. Lesson 11, 10 questions and answers about integrated writing. And then one more is lesson 12.2, paraphrasing with voice markers. I think that's a good lesson for you also. All right, there it is. I challenge you, start doing writing practice tests every week. Maybe take 2 or 3 a week. Spend 30 or 40 minutes writing the practice test. Email it to me. I'll give you a score from 1 to 5, and I'll briefly tell you what some of your problems are. And remember, all this practice you do, it doesn't affect your grade at all. It's just to help you get better. And I promise you, it'll prepare you for the midterm and the final exam. And if you need to take the IELTS exam later on or the TOEFL exam later on, you'll find yourself much, much more prepared for those types of standardized tests. All right, thank you for completing this writing practice test.